Hi everyone, I'm Monica Johnson, the Post-Secondary Options Coach at Mapleton Online, and I am back with more information on Microsoft Teams in our Skills for Success video series. All right, so how do we communicate on Teams? And I'm not talking about which button do you push and where do you type. That's the stuff that I went over in the last video. Today, I'm talking about the information that we are trying to help others understand when we work to communicate with them. Whether we are typing it into a chat or whether we are looking at them on a video call, how do we communicate on Teams? Last time I brought up in reference to chat that there is this idea that 93% of the things that we communicate to others are done so in a non-verbal way. That means that the words that we speak, the verbal things or the words that we speak, only make up about 7% of a person's understanding of what we're trying to say. The other 93% comes from our facial expressions, the tone of our voice, the body language, the way we carry ourselves, the way our posture, the message that our posture conveys. That's the idea. Well, now since this study happened in the 1970s, scientists have questioned whether this is very accurate. So really, it's probably a little less than that, or maybe even a lot less than that, but the idea is the same. Some human communication, whether it's 50% of our understanding, whether it's 75% of our understanding, or whether this is correct and it really is 93% of our understanding that we have when we communicate with each other, comes from nonverbal cues. And because of that, when we choose to communicate only through chat and when we keep our cameras off, we lose some of that ability to express ourselves and to communicate with one another. So that brings up the question, to turn on the camera or not to turn on the camera. I know this is a thing that every Mapleton student everywhere just dreads talking about. Oh my gosh, are they going to make me turn on my camera? So let's talk about some of the pros and some of the cons of turning on our camera. I know y'all hate doing it, so I'm going to start with the reasons why you might not want to turn on your camera. I know that when you turn on your camera, you feel somewhat exposed, especially if you are the only person in that entire team's room who has their camera on other than the teacher. It feels like everyone is looking right at you. It feels like it's just eyes boring into your skull all the way to the back of your head. I can relate to that. I fully understand. I know that feeling is also made worse by the fact that you can see yourself down at the bottom in the little bottom right-hand corner of your screen. It really is. Another con is that it shows your background. If you don't have a really great place to sit and do your classes, that might be hard to feel comfortable turning on your camera. Maybe there is family moving around in the room with you, and it could be distracting to your classmates because, there's no other way for you to do it without your family moving around in the background. Maybe you are helping a younger sibling, and so you're moving in and out of the screen, and you don't want to distract people that way. So there's a lot of really good reasons why you wouldn't want to have your camera on. Let's talk about the really good reasons why you would want to have your camera on. The first one and the biggest one is that it builds community and relationships within our classrooms. I want to emphasize that our team's classes are classrooms. They're Mapleton classrooms just like any other. And relationships are one of the big pillars in Mapleton Public Schools. We in this district value the relationships that teachers and students create with one another that foster the learning experience. Community and a sense of community makes our world a better place. It makes Mapleton Online a better place. And by turning on our cameras and trusting each other in that way, we start to build those relationships and we build that community. It holds everyone accountable. Okay, I've done this before, so I know y'all have. I've gone to professional development that I was so tired and I just didn't want to, and I had other work to do. So I turned off my camera and then I immediately stopped paying attention and did something else. I often like to turn on my camera when I'm in meetings, whether I'm required to or not, because it forces me to pay attention to the thing that I need to be paying attention to. It keeps me from pulling out my phone and checking Facebook. It keeps me from doing other work and makes me focus on what I'm supposed to do. It's a self-accountability piece for me. And I encourage you all to think about it in the same way. But it's also a tool that our teachers can use to hold kids accountable, okay? And that's another thing when we think about our new attendance policy where you're required to participate. Cameras are a really good way to make sure that students are participating and that they're present and that they didn't just join the class and walk away. It allows teachers to gauge interest and understanding. So in an in-person classroom, teachers are constantly looking around the room. They're looking to see if kids appear bored with their lesson, and if they are, they might change up the pacing or they might come up with a new activity on the fly just to get everybody's interests. They can also look to see if there's nods of understanding or looks of confusion on kids' faces so that they know, it gives them cues to know whether the teaching is working, and it helps them to become better teachers because of it. So it really does improve the quality of your education when you have your camera on because it supports the teachers in supporting you. Does that make sense? All right, and lastly, it sends the message that you're engaged. That goes back to that attendance thing, right? You want teachers to know that you're engaged and that you care about what they have to teach, then cameras are a really good way to do that, all right? I want to remind everyone who's watching that for our middle school students, cameras are already required. This isn't even a choice for you 6th, 7th, and 8th graders. I'm sorry to say, Actually, I'm not sorry to say, because I want to encourage our 9th through 12th grade students to also turn on your cameras. I know it's hard. I know it's scary. I know sometimes you feel like that little screaming emoji man up at the top of the screen when you have to turn on your camera, but I promise you, it really is in the best interest of your education and the ability for you to learn in the best way possible. Now, if you're nervous about what your workspace background looks like, next time on Skills for Success, we're going to talk about the best way to set up a school workspace. 1, to be functional so that it supports your learning, and 2, so that it works really well for you to be able to turn on that camera and have a really great video behind you. All right, everyone, I will see you next time. Have a wonderful day.